The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink Community TV, its sponsors, or partners.
This program is proudly presented by the 2025 Fiat 500e and Hickman Automotive Group.
Hello everybody, my name's Chris. My friends call me RT. This is RT Cooks. Today, grilled potato flats, and we're gonna do a touton dough bowl sandwich. We'll try this out, see how it goes. Hopefully it all turns out great today, just like every other day. Be right back. Grilled chicken sandwiches in a touton bowl with potato flats. So we're gonna get these potatoes cut, and we're gonna go with a nice thick cut. I got the grill down pretty low right now, sort of heating up the grates. And once I heat up those grates, I'll put the potato on, and that'll give it a nice little sear, a nice little brown on it, you know? So there's the potatoes. We'll go ahead with some bit of olive oil. Actually, I think this one's canola oil, but it doesn't matter. Oil, oil, oil. Bit of Newlander seasoning, great all-purpose spice, just good combination, bit of garlic in there, bit of salt, pepper. Spin that around, shake that up, and we're gonna get that right on the grate. I'm actually gonna lift the grate a little bit because I don't wanna burn my hands putting those potatoes on. So I'll lift the grate up a touch, and we're gonna just put it on, and they're gonna sear right away. So we have a nice flame. We're cooking right now with a little bit of fire, which is a whole lot of fun, right? It's gonna burn down the coals. This is the whole concept of this rat rod barbecue. Combination, back and forth, from charcoal to flames, back to flames, hang it beside the flames. The whole concept of that rat rod barbecue is for live fire cooking and charcoal cooking. Santa Maria style. Argentine style, Brazilian style, all different kinds and styles of barbecue is what I want to be at with this thing. Chicken thighs. So the only thing I want to do with these chicken thighs, I want to open them up and I want to see if there's any fat or if there's too much fat, because it will flare up. But these are trimmed off really nicely. They're good and flat. There's no real need to butterfly it all out at all. No big chunks of fat. It's perfect. What I'm using is I have a baking sheet, and I use the baking sheet sort of to contain the chicken. So the chicken is now on a cutting board and the baking sheet. This knife will go in here and back on the counter. There's a little bit of fat. I'm just going to trim that little bit off. That way, the contamination stays and moves around with this. I don't need to clean it up right now. I'm busy cooking, busy making a show. I don't have time to clean it up. I'll put it off to the side. Bit of that fat. Last one, all perfect. We're gonna make a paste for the chickens. We're gonna use an onion and herb spice blend. Any spice blend will work, anything will work. So for the paste, I go 2 tablespoons, we'll call it, of olive oil. We'll say that's 2 tablespoons, maybe 2.5. And I'm gonna go with 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar today. So just a drizzle in there. And a tablespoon, because I want a good thick paste, a tablespoon of this. This allows you to make a paste or a marinade out of pretty much any spice you have on hand. Any spice blend you love, do this, put it on that chicken to marinate and soak in. You just made your own homemade paste. You don't need to always buy the paste when you got so many spice blends. So here we go. Paste, marinade. It's a little thick maybe to be called a paste, but I think it's going to stick to that chicken nicely. Grab a set of tongs, mix that around. First, I'll check the potatoes. Oh, we do have a little bit of grill started. Just starting to change color. These are going to take a lot of flipping. We don't want to burn them, of course. We want them just nicely grilled on both sides, and it is a raw potato. It's going to take a little while to cook that raw potato. Chicken here, mix that up, stir that around, and the same as always, that set of tongs is going to stay with that chicken. So now I'll just set this back to the side, give those hands another little rinse. I have this concept and this idea that I'm going to take some touton dough, I'm going to flatten it out, and I'm going to put it into one of these strainers. And I think putting it into this strainer, sort of making a bowl out of it, it'll give you a nice little pocket to stuff all your chicken, all your toppings, everything inside of. So we're going to give that a go. I'm going to get cleaned up a little bit here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spread these coals out a little bit because the chicken's going to go on next, really. That's what's going to happen. We got to get the chicken on. And I'm not using the bracero, this is what I use if I'm building a fire and I'm using coals to feed it. I'm just using all of this now, kind of like your campfire. So I like to keep some flames going all the time, so we'll just spread out those coals a bit. And on the far side here, we'll have a little bit of wood to fire up and give us some flames, so I can always shift in and out of the flames. And I always like to have a little flame back at this side right here, and that'll help sort of encase everything you're cooking. Everything's there. Always up and down with charcoal. You just keep adding chunks of charcoal. This is the way to keep this fire going and going and going. You just keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. Your campfire, if you have a campfire, you kind of try and split it into two sides if you can. So I'll lower this down. So I'll show you the little fan I got. And I just have this little battery operated fan. It works great for just sort of blowing in on that flame. And you'll see we're going to get some flames, and it's going to cut down the smoke a little bit too. It's sort of, we win two things at once by getting that going. There we are. Flames, potatoes are grilling. Now, if we left all this as is, of course these potatoes over here would cook a lot quicker. So we'll move these potatoes back. We spread out the charcoal so we know that we have a larger surface for cooking now. The potatoes can kind of take a backstage pass here and just sit out back and rest. We have our fire. We have the charcoal is just starting to go. What I like to do is make sure that charcoal sort of catches before I put anything else on to cook. Get the most smoke out of it really early. Once it starts to burn, it'll tone down a little bit on the smoke. You don't want to overwhelm the flavor of that charcoal when it first lights up. It can be overwhelming, almost a little bit bitter. The birch is the same way. You want to be careful you don't cook right on the flames when you start. I'm going to move a potato. I got one potato that's sort of lingering over close to the fire. Chicken's marinating. Potatoes are grilling. Fire is coming back around. We're going to bring it back up. Get ready to get that chicken on and start cooking. Don't go too far. We're going to start putting this together.
TLC Nursing and Home Care offers a province-wide team of nurses, personal care attendants, and in-home care. Nutritional meal prep and other services help clients to maintain independence at home. For care once in a while or 24/7, TLC's programs are designed for every individual situation.
When disaster strikes, what matters most is getting you back on your feet. And you deserve a company that knows what matters. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Oh, we're back. Potatoes are grilling nicely. Let's have a look. Give them a little spin, give them a little flip. See, look at the color. Nice, crispy outside. These are going to be to die for. That's a russet potato. So we might even get a little bit of a mashed potato interior, you know, a little soft mashed potato type interior. Move all those across. Tend to the fire. I said it before, you got to keep tending to the fire. I'm just going to give it a little move around before I throw that chicken on. I want to make sure I have a good spread and even heat. It's all looking good in there. Perfect. Everything's spread out. I got even coals all over. Once you get the chicken on, you don't want to have to add any more charcoal or anything. We just get right into it. So here we have our chicken. This is that marinated chicken thighs. Beautiful paste. It's absorbed almost everything. Now, of course, this is going to flare up a little bit, and all we're going to do is manage the grill. We'll lift the grill. If it flares up too much, we'll lift the grill up. It's not a big deal to deal with. We just be mindful and watch what we're at. All this on. There's some flares. There's some flames. We'll lift that up. We knew it was coming. We talked about it. It's only going to flare up. It's only going to flare up a little bit. The outer oil, the bit of fat on the chicken, those boneless, skinless chicken thighs is going to flare up, but we're going to get a nice sear on everything because of it. Throw that last chicken thigh in. Now, for me, I just close the tongs, leave them right inside of this bowl. That bowl can stay there. We're going to be using them on the chicken until the chicken starts to cook. Back down. Move a couple potatoes around. Just sort of do a little shift here. Get those potatoes, check that color, looking good. Flames are licking around that chicken nicely. No direct flames coming up from down below. Everything's working out well. I'm going to move this one little piece of wood over just a little bit. Stop it from catching. Make sure it doesn't actually catch the bit of oil dripping off of the chicken. What are we having? A touton bowl. I don't know exactly how this is going to work out, but we're going to try it. We're going to make a touton bowl, and we're going to make a nice little package to be able to put that right inside of. I'm going to grab a few of these touton balls. We'll say 3 of them. Kind of spread them out a little bit. Just a touch of flour down on the cutting board. Help manage this touton dough. And like I've said before, the touton dough likes to rest a little bit once you beat it up. So we're going to give it, roll it out a little, and then we're going to let it sit while I go back to flip the chicken, because I think the chicken is ready to go over. One of the big things to remember when you're on the barbecue cooking is you want to try and give your protein, your vegetable, whatever you're cooking, you want to give it some time to release from the grill so it doesn't stick. So if we did this right, it won't stick. So there we go, beautiful. Look at the color on that. We'll get all these flipped over. Oh, this is looking like it's going to be a delicious sandwich bowl, wrap around thingamajigger. I'm not sure, but we'll get into it. Get all that chicken flipped over. You can just see the juice. So now, all the chicken will be cooked on the outside, on both sides. So I'm going to get rid of this set of tongs. Just set that back here. I'll grab a new set when I go to flip them next. Touton bowl. Let's see. Oh, it is stretching out nicely now. So here's what we're going to try and do. And this won't be until the end. I just wanted to make sure it was stretched out and ready to be turned into a touton bowl. Spray it with some oil. Good heavy coating of oil. And then we're going to lay it right over top of this colander. And we'll just cook that right on the grill. Flip it over, we'll cook the other side. I'll set it back here. We're going to clean up our mess a little bit. I always have a bowl with dish soap and bleach. It's a really great way to disinfect everything. You could put your hands in it, it's not going to hurt it. And I don't know what the percentage would be of bleach, but I add it until I can just smell it in the bowl. I don't want it to be too powerful or too strong, just enough so you can smell that chlorine or that chlorine smell, that bleach smell. Just smell it. Oh, I got a string here gone crazy. Just enough for that, and then that way, every time you wipe anything down, you go back, you wash your hands. Your hands are getting disinfected a little bit. Just makes everything safe, keeps everything nice and tidy and clean. Chicken's cooking. We're going to take a look at it, see how we're doing. I always have large selection of tongs on hand. Can never have too many. Give those potatoes, you could feel the potato's getting a little almost soft, so we're doing really well here. I'm actually going to give them a spray of oil because they look a little dry to me. So we'll flip those over. This is how they cook potatoes before air fryers. This is what we did. Now, a bit of oil on top of those I think is going to help them. Coming along, chicken. I'm going to flip the chicken. I'm going to look at the chicken anyway and see how it's coming. So it's really looking good. The color's coming in. Not quite ready. I'm actually going to lower that grill a bit and get it down, get a little more heat on it. Just one little notch. And it makes a big difference. Maybe you're going to get another 50 degrees Fahrenheit when you lower it down. Maybe you're going to get 100 degrees Fahrenheit if you're even lower. But between those two clicks, I would guess we went from maybe somewhere around 250, touching on 300 now would be my best guess. Now, what are we topping this chicken with? Well, we're going to top this chicken with some lettuce, tomato, thinly shaved onions. Now, if you watch this show at all, these are my 3 favorite things to put on a sandwich. They're all different because there's always a different sauce, a different meat, a different texture. And I got some white sauce, it's called. I tasted this, and it's a mix. It's not a Caesar, it's not a ranch. It's a really different flavor. And I'm going to drizzle it over top of this. It's a cream sauce with a bit of a peppery background to it. It works really well on sandwiches. I've had it on sandwiches before. Chicken. Oh, I can hear. Listen, the sizzle right now, I believe they're ready to be flipped. I can hear them sizzling. So we'll give those a spin. Yeah, see? They are cooked. Yeah. This is all coming together. This is all coming together nicely. We'll flip all those. So this could be a propane barbecue too, listen. You could do this in a frying pan. All of this can be done in so many different cooking devices. That's the beauty of just about anything I'm going to be cooking this season. If you don't have the cooking device I am using at that time, most of the meals are going to be able to be cooked on something you have at home. Flat top grill is usually the one thing that's going to throw you off. It's hard to make a smash burger without a flat top grill. Sometimes a cast iron pan will do well. Lettuce, tomato, onion, and some nice 1-year-old cheddar. Don't go very far. We're going to come back. We're going to start putting all this together. We're going to see how that touton bowl works out. See you soon.
For Belfour, it's not just restoration. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
TLC Nursing and Home Care offers a province-wide team of nurses, personal care attendants, and in-home care. Nutritional meal prep and other services help clients to maintain independence at home. For care once in a while or 24/7, TLC's programs are designed for every individual situation.
All right, we're back. We're going to put this all together. The chicken is pretty much done. I'm going to raise it up a little bit. I just want to get the heat up. I have the cheese, so I think what I want to do with the cheese, I'm going to cut some slices here. And when I take the chicken off, I'm just going to go ahead and put that cheese right on top of the chicken while the chicken cools down a little bit, rests a little bit. We'll let the cheese melt right on top of that nice hot chicken coming off the grill. So we'll give this some thin slices. I don't have a grater handy. That'd work as well, but thin slices will do the trick. Nice and slow, take your time. Never a rush when you're cooking for your friends and family, right? Never a rush. And if anybody complains, don't invite them back. Keep cutting, keep chopping. And on that note, if anybody ever complains of what's served up on the table, well, you know they're not coming back. No, everybody's welcome all the time, and nobody ever complains, of course. Chicken down. This chicken is all cooked and ready to be turned into some delicious sandwiches. Line it all up, get it all in here, and then we're going to put that cheese on top. While that sits and melts and mingles, potatoes are done. We're going to leave all those on there. We got a little bit of nice residual heat coming off of that fire. The potatoes will stay there and stay warm. We'll just spread this cheese out. I'm just going to chop all this up anyways. It doesn't have to be perfect. All I'm trying to do is get the cheese soft a little bit, so when I go to chop all this up and get it inside of that bowl, it's all mingled together. Now, potatoes up a little higher. I'm going to concentrate those coals in, so when I go to make the touton bowl, I'll have a nice little concentration of good heat and coals. Move all this in, and you can just see all those nice glowing embers in there. That's all going to be what's going to make that touton bowl cook perfectly. Now, what did we say we're having? We have some lettuce, tomatoes, and onion. Shaved, super shaved red onions is something the texture and the flavor of it is so good, and you just got to try and shave it as thin as you can. And you just go slow, you miss every once in a while. Don't worry about that. Just keep going. There is perfect. Perfect, perfect. Bit of red onion, maybe another little slice of it. Another little touch of it. Red onions. Tomato, we're just going to slice that tomato. Nothing too complicated. It's going to go across the top. This is all going to turn into almost a burrito or a wrap, because the style of touton bowl I'm making should tie it all in together. What are we going to do with the lettuce? I'm going to just peel off a couple pieces of lettuce. We're going to give this a wash. I washed the tomatoes. Everything else is washed, but I never washed the lettuce. So I'm just going to give the lettuce a little rinse, and I'm going to leave it whole. It's going to go right inside of that bowl and sort of stop the dough from getting too, soggy. We don't want it to soak up too much of the liquid or anything we're putting in. So we'll give that lettuce a rinse, a good wash, a nice shake. And what we do is we just grab a piece of paper towel. I like to wrap up the lettuce in paper towel. It helps sort of dry it out, so it's not too wet as well. So it's just, maybe that's too many pieces of paper towel today, but that's all right. One piece of lettuce, get that paper towel on. Another piece. Oh no, we got just the right amount for today. Dry it all out, soak up a little bit of that water. We're getting close. Set some things back on this tray, a few things aside. Check where we're at for temperature. Oh, we're warm. Now back to that touton bowl. There we have it on the colander, ready to go. I'm going to give the outside a spray of oil, because I am going to flip this over once we get the bottom side cooked. Right on the heat like that. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to puff up a little bit. I think it's going to brown a little bit. Move those potatoes right directly over the heat, so we're not losing any temperature in those. We want to make sure they stay warm. The potatoes are looking great. The touton dough, I'd say it's starting to grill already. You can see a bit of flavor, a bit of flame. Oh yeah, a bit of smoke. Oh, that's looking good. A bit of high heat, so it's a touton dough. You got to be careful. You will burn it if you wait too long, so we'll see how well we do here. Nicely coming. We'll have a quick little peek, see if we can tell what's happening. It's like magic. It's browning up nicely. I don't know if you can see the back. I don't know if you can see the back of the touton dough, but it's starting to bubble. There's little bubbles all around. So what I want to do is, it's cooking really well. I'm just going to take a couple of those coals and put those up high in the middle, because those are embers that are super hot. Now when I put this down, it's actually going to cup that in a little bit and get that heat right up beside that touton dough. It's cooking perfectly. All right, that touton dough is puffing up. I can't believe, look at the bubbles, everything's happening. I want to get a little more oil on that because I'm about to flip it now, and I don't want it to stick when I actually set it inside the color. Oh, a bit of puff of smoke from the oil on the fire. Look at that. Now let's see how we did. I'll put this up here. Let's see how we did. A quick little flip. Now, does that not look like a beautiful thing? Come on. Now we'll finish this off. I'll move those coals. I'm going to chop up that chicken, and then we're going to put this all together. I'll just put that right down on the coals. We'll let that side cook. Let's see what's happening with this chicken. Pull all this chicken. We'll just give it some, turn it into chicken little strips. I'm telling you, I can taste it. I can smell the chicken, the flavor in the chicken, and that cheese is ready to be put into that bowl and turned into a RT burrito. Maybe that's what we'll call it. I'm not sure what to call it. That is a beautiful thing. I had to put a glove on. It was getting a little warm over there. That touton ball is ready. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Can you believe what we have done here and what we created? Flip that over. Oh, where do you start? Where do you start? Lettuce. Lettuce is where you start. So I said we're going to layer it with a little bit of lettuce on the bottom. So I probably, I'm going to go ahead and cheat. I'm going to go take another leaf. Put a leaf down there. Then we're going to take some chicken. We're going to get some chicken in here. Not some, a lot of chicken. How's that looking? A few tomatoes. Get some tomatoes across. Some of those shaved, as thin as I could shave them. Red onions. I think we're doing all right. That white sauce, what's it called? Now let's have a look. White sauce. It's like a Louisiana thing, perhaps, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I made it wrong, but I know it's a delicious, delicious sauce. Sort of a peppery base to it. And I think this is going to top all of this off just nicely. It's just going to make for a beautiful finish. There it is, ready to go. Sometimes you don't know what you're in the middle creating. I created a monster. What a beautiful flavor. Now the potatoes. Let's get into those potatoes and make sure. Oh, you can see they're soft inside, just like a mashed potato. Ooh. Charcoal. Charcoal's a flavor. I'm telling you, it's a spice. That charcoal flavor on those potatoes, next level. Can't do that with an air fryer. I use an air fryer, don't get me wrong. Just today I didn't. Follow me on all your favorite social medias. Just search RT Cooks It. Come back next week for a great cooking adventure right here on Eastlink Community TV.
This episode of RT Cooks It is made possible by the generous support of Hickman Automotive Group.